Ecstatic Bliss. Secrets to living a juicy life.
Welcome to this new episode here with Ecstatic Bliss, Secrets to Living a Juicy Life. Today's topic, I feel, is a very important topic on the other spectrum of ecstatic bliss, the matrix. I would like to talk a little bit about this topic today, also especially to give you some food for thought for you to reflect where you stand right now, and actually that it's maybe even easier than you think to step out of this matrix. I can imagine that you have seen the movie Matrix. If you haven't, I really recommend seeing it because there lies a lot of truth. And in a metaphorical way, we can say that the matrix is kind of like a framework that says that we as a humankind, human beings, are kept in a sort of game, maybe even kept imprisoned in conditionings to function in a certain way so we are of use for society, which also means it deprives us of our true nature, it deprives us of our true essence, of our authenticity, to really, in a sense, become something more like a machine than a true human being. And in the past, I would say, long time now, we've been really living a lot in the matrix. And I would say 2020 latest, a lot of people came to question the current state of being and which jobs they do and which relationships they are in, which friends they have, what they do whole day. So there started to be a new wave of questioning the system because we had even more than usual restrictions in place. And we really felt deprived of a lot of rights. We felt maybe even be commanded to do things that were not in alignment with our values. Also, I remember that I had to put things in place that were not in alignment with my true values. And I really felt a lot of separation, a lot of drama, a lot of dark energy. Let's say it like this to sum it up, it's a dark energy that we have and that we feel once we question. If we not question, well, if we just live in the matrix, in that system of conditioning, of manipulation, of suppressing, of depriving us of our natural rights of being, and telling us things like, draining our brain in a way to keep us living in an illusion, depriving us of information and filtering information so we think in a specific way, in a specific categorization of this is me and this is my space I can walk, and everything outside is not possible for me in a way to function, to work in automatism. So if you are in that system, coming back to my thoughts, coming back to, when we are in that matrix still living, you don't even notice that you are in that state, that you are not truly you, that you play a lot of roles or a specific role in society, that you put a lot of masks on, that you act out of a conditioned program, a program that has been implanted in you, we can say. And thus you live in a reality that is really distorted from what is your true nature and what your potential is. Yes. So obviously, already mentioned, we are kept in the matrix because of some say they are these dark forces, dark energies, however you want to interpret it. Something is keeping us inside of it so we can work and function for others, not for our own heart, not in love, not in our essence, in our being in an authentic way, but for others to be used as tools to fulfill some commands that are not bottom heart rooted, not soul led, but led to distort and distract and manipulate and condition even more people. Let's say it like this. Yeah, it's also a fine line how to put the words, and I think you have your own idea of it, your own opinion of it, and everything in general. What I say is something that you can think about, and whatever resonates can take into your opinion mindset, and everything that doesn't resonate, just leave it outside. So once we start questioning, because there I feel in each person's life at some point there comes a time, especially now with our evolution of consciousness, there comes a time when we stop and start questioning. And usually I notice it's starting around the 30s, yeah, with the Saturn return, maybe a little bit earlier already, maybe even if you are an old soul, even earlier, and you question a lot, although living in the matrix. And we start how things work, and we get glimpses into outside of that box thinking. We get glimpses out of this system. And the system, I mean, especially politics and combined with the media, these two are the major forces that have an impact on us that is so huge that a lot of people, the mass at least, follows. Oftentimes even blindly, without questioning, without rebelling, without resistance. And if you question, you start wondering if everything what is said to you, what is told you, if this is really the right way to see the world, the right way to see ourselves, myself, if this is the right way to go about reality and live our life. Because a lot is combined actually with this matrix living in drama, what we had last time, the podcast episode, living in drama, living in fear. Because fear is one of the biggest emotions that keep us following someone or putting the responsibility outside of us. If someone says, I have the solution to your fears, we follow that because we want to get out of fear. So fear is a mechanism often used in the system. And if we start questioning, we maybe draw the energy step by step back to us. This is a very important step, actually, if you want to detach. And if you listen to this episode here or watch this video, most probably you have clicked because you question already. You question already, and you know there's more outside of this regular job, 9 to 5, or whenever you have to get up and go again, and to, in a way, live just for the weekends. I remember like having, when I still was working in corporates, I know how it is to work, have a regular work schedule, and a lot of people there were just waiting for the weekend, were just waiting for the holidays, were celebrating Wednesdays because it's the middle of the day of the week. And yeah, we're drinking a lot after work just to blur their thoughts, to forget all this distorted reality they were living in. And if you start questioning, you draw that energy back to you. You become more self-responsible, you become more self-sufficient, in the sense also that you don't believe everything that is told you, that you are influenced by. You're maybe still following automatically in some habits and patterns that have been part of your identity for a long time, but you start, or your matrix identity starts crumbling. Your matrix identity starts crumbling by questioning what is told you. And you start researching as well. You start digging deeper into other layers beyond what you have been told and what you have been living so far. I mean, nowadays the internet is a very beneficial way of really getting information easily and fast. and in a vast amount. So the internet is also, I feel, a big contribution to helping us stepping into our true essence, into our true nature. Because as you know, if you follow me, everything actually around what I do and what I share and what I try to embody or what I'm already embodying is all about coming back to our own essence, our own truth, which is always for me love. So it's always about coming back to love frequency, to soul alignment and love frequency. Researching comes hand in hand with questioning, and you will get information that even supports your questioning. And in this phase of between really being stuck in the matrix and like imprisoned of not having your own authentic expression, and the new version of being totally free, if this is ever possible to be totally free. I mean, off-grid living and self-sufficient living is already out there, but maybe at some point there's a limit for your current way of living, at least, or your soul's journey. And there's an in-between state of this questioning, of reprogramming yourself, and of freeing step by step all the parts that have been imprisoned or frozen in the matrix. Yeah, it's an in-between state that can take a long, long time, that can take years. Most of the time it takes years. And I can just repeat, with our consciousness rising and with time quality changing and shifting so fast, this will also shift faster, obviously, because questioning and researching is very mind-based, very mental activity. It's maybe very a masculine approach to it. And what I feel, what I see, what we are getting into, what we are stepping more into is a feminine approach of doing things, which would be actually coming back to our heart, coming back to love frequency, coming back to our heart. That's a big, big shift inside the in-between state, where we not only question and research about how to get out of it, how do I get back to my original blueprint, how do I embody my soul frequency, but also to come back to our heart. Because when we are in our heart, actually something automatically will shift energetically, your vibration, and that automatically will also shed some layers. Sometimes actually I feel you don't really have to think about things. By now, I don't question so much what I do. Sometimes just my hands do something and they just heal in a way my energetic system, because I'm very much guided by now by the divine, and I'm just surrendering to whatever happens is meant to be, and I'm tuning into what is next step. But in that in-between state, you will probably still rely a lot on your mind. You will still rely a lot on maybe even external sources of, maybe you find someone in the spiritual scene, friends, workshops, trainings, yeah, podcasts, YouTube, to get a little bit more into an energetic field that supports your transformation, that transforms and supports your transformation. That's actually always very beneficial if you want to change into a new version of yourself. And in this transitioning phase, at some point also, you know that there's another reality that your soul wants to live. There's another reality that feels so much more in alignment with your heart, with your truth, that feels so much more in alignment with what you dream of. Yeah, in the Matrix, it's more like, okay, this is reality, this is what I dream of, and these dreams are just dreams. It's just inside of me. It's never reachable. In between, you question like, actually, my dreams are really something I really feel like this is meant for me, or this is something I really would love to experience. Outside, on the other side of the rainbow, you will feel like, no, actually, I'm it. I'm everything, and I can manifest, or it can manifest through me, all those dreams I'm dreaming of. It comes from internal to external at the other side. So still remaining at this in-between state, because it's just such an important stage, and most probably if you now here with me, you are most probably in this in-between state. No matter where you are, if you just started questioning, or if you're already like, okay, I already reprogrammed a lot of myself, and reprogram will be topic of the next episode actually, which is another very important tool we can use, and I also already mentioned it in the drama episode, to condition ourselves consciously. Because everything what we are, already mentioned also in the last episode, is a program running on us. Yeah, there's a program running on us in terms of beliefs. Your belief system is like a program. And usually, if you are in the matrix, that program, this belief system, has been conditioned, programmed by someone else, outer forces. If you are in the in-between stage, you have the opportunity and the capacity, and you come to, you get actually insights, and the universe will support you on that path because you already shifted something in your perception, in your consciousness. We give you tools at hand that allow you to condition yourself in a new way. Maybe you even go outside to, theta healing, for example, is a very common tool of reprogramming, even in hypnosis, also inner child healing and shadow work, everything that interplays, bits and pieces you will come across, and you will come across people that help you on that journey to implant new beliefs inside of you that are in alignment with your soul, that are in alignment with your essence and truth. And this is, like I said, an onwards journey, actually, even if you feel already, oh, I liberated myself quite a lot from the system, even then there are always bits and pieces you can reprogram, because they're next levels of that game here on Earth. Yeah. But the major part is really coming back to who you are, what you are, or what you feel you are. And in that in-between state, I feel also there's oftentimes a lot of confusion, which is natural, because your old identity is still somewhere, like all the past identities you had are still clinging to you, on you. And then there is this other new identity coming in, just faintly maybe, and it becomes more dominant at the end of the path, that wants to live a life in fulfillment, in freedom, especially in flow. And they are fighting. It's always identity shifting, will also be a future episode, like specifically just for identity shifting. But if you have an old identity and a new one, there's always this in between of they are fighting. They are fighting for their place, because the old one believes I am the right one. New one thinks I am the right one. So you get in confusion because they get into struggling. And then it's step by step making that new identity bigger, more important than the old one. Yeah. So in this, yes, another important aspect maybe to mention is that in this transitioning phase, not only you're reprogrammed, or you're reprogramming yourself, the more conscious you are, but speaking of consciousness, your consciousness will raise. If you see it in the bigger picture, you may have heard of 5D consciousness, that we are on the journey in humanity, collectively, from 3D consciousness into 5D consciousness. In between, obviously, there has to be 4D consciousness. And 3D is a lot based on ego, on fear, on jealousy, on judgment, on, if you see it on an energetic level, on the lower chakras, me, myself, and I, this is mine, there's not enough for everyone, separation, a lot of those components you find in 3D consciousness, which is actually, for me, a representation of the matrix consciousness. And 5D, on the other hand, is all about love, compassion, co-creation, living our authentic true self, being self-compassionate as well, and having so much self-love that you don't really need anything, that you naturally give from your heart. It's a lot of giving. In 3D, it's more a lot of taking. And in the transitioning phase from one end of the rainbow to the other rainbow side, I always see it a little bit like a rainbow actually, is transitioning from the 3D through the 4D to the 5D. And if you've listened carefully to all the elements I listed, and there are more to it if you want to tap into the energetic frequency of 3D, 4D, 5D, then it's obvious that if you cultivate love, if you connect with your heart, if you step by step connect back to your soul or maybe your higher self, your inner knowing, there's a voice inside of you or above you, however you see it, that actually has the truth for you personally, for you individually, your soul truth, what to do next, which decision to take, and so forth, that lies there. In 3D, in the matrix, everything is outsourced. Like, okay, they say this, so I'm doing this. This is said to be, in society, it's said to be like this, so I'm also like this. I'm following a crowd. In the free state, and also at the end of your in-between stage, in 5D especially, you are a free sovereign being. A free sovereign being, which means that you come to your own conclusions, you come to your own reasoning, you come to your own what is right for me in this very moment, what feels aligned with me, what is aligned with the higher truth of love. Yes. And that is actually a very exciting and interesting transitioning we go through collectively, and each one of us individually, which contributes to the collective field of coming back to home vibration, love, is that more and more souls come into the state of questioning and come into the state like, no, actually, I've been told something my whole life, maybe even. I've played so many roles, I've put on so many masks, I'm so confused even what I am, who I am. I want to return back. Yeah, no matter how confused you are, how much you detached from yourself, from your truth, no matter how far, there is something still inside of you beating for the truth. What is this life about? What your life is about? What the essence of being is, of existence is. And that will call you. Someday it will call you. Sometimes we are actually called and pushed quite strongly, and that may come with pain, with suffering, if you take your mind in it. Because sometimes actually the human being is quite lazy, and just if we have this from the universe, a push, or through someone else, or through obviously situations, experiences, that we are really pushed into our awakening, bringing this terminology also in the place. It's all about awakening to our true nature, to our true essence, that path between matrix and freedom. The awakening process is oftentimes, and I feel in the past I always thought, okay, it's always getting better, but actually the awakening process, the spiritual journey, has also a lot to do with pain. But also, as mentioned in another episode, it's then to shift your perspective of this is pain, this is bliss, or this is joy, into, okay, this is also part of it, and that's equally valid, equally important, not to judge it. It's for the ego not easy, but at some point you will arrive there, I can say that. So I feel sometimes even people walking on the spiritual path, especially those having started, are really, really excited. Like, yes, I'm freeing myself. Yes, I'm manifesting my dream life. And at some point, the universe will show you, be humble, surrender to my plan, just walk each step by step, moment to moment, and trust that you are guided. Because the more resistance there is on that path from being imprisoned to freedom, the ego will rebel, the ego will cling to something from the past, will tell you something is still better than the other side. You will be faced with big decisions. You will lose people on your path. You will also gain new people on your path. You transition through so many stages. And it's a very exciting phase of humanity, actually, that more and more are walking that spiritual path. I would say we are all spiritual, yes, but consciously walking the path. That's the difference. Consciously walking the spiritual path. You can say we're all on that spiritual path, but some are just sleepwalking it. And from time to time, maybe they get glimpses into what's actually about. But you can always choose. Do I want to do it consciously or keep sleeping? Do I want to keep sleepwalking on my spiritual path? Or do I want to consciously choose and tune into my higher self and my soul energy, what is meant for me in the next moment? That is up to you. And the less resistance you have, whatever happens, the less judgment you have, the easier it gets, the more flow you have, what we actually want on the path. There are always ups and downs. You know that's life. And I would love to encourage you to keep walking even in the darkest nights, because I know that can be very tough. I know from experience that there can be very, very destructive energies and thoughts in place that you question even much more than before, your whole existence actually. And I feel on that path to break free, to come really out of the tunnel to the light. At some point there will be one, if not many, several so-called void states. The void as a state of nothingness, of feeling complete disconnection. Yeah, usually the path is actually disconnecting from the matrix, unplugging from the matrix, and replugging into the universe. That's a path. But in between, there will be a complete unplugged state. Yeah. In between, there will be an unplugged state so that you can actually also be reprogrammed by the universe. It's never actually us doing things. It's just helping us to understand, or the mind to understand, that we have some more some more impact on our life. But actually it's always the divine, the universe, God, however you want to name it, that higher force that runs through all of us. So there will be an unplugged state, the void state, where in a way I see it as if you are washed clean from so many things, so many layers, so many roles, so many masks, so much what you thought you are. Even if you're already quite conscious, you will bow down to your knees and ask the universe, what do you want from me? And that state is necessary to really have a clean slate, to have a clean computer, to run and download new programs, new codes, to recode and reconfigure your system on all levels. And I can say from my experience, I've gone through that phase. And maybe it's not in your soul plan, yes? So don't await anything. Just saying and making you aware of that state that may come, so that you really are reconfigured in a much higher vibrating energy, higher consciousness, so that you embody more of your true essence, that you embody more of love frequency, that you not only embody it, but that you, first of all, feel it inside for yourself, and that you radiate it outside to the world. Because what I also noticed, what I realized is that at some point, it's not about you. It's about becoming a vessel for the divine, to let love run through you so others will be ignited and remember as well. And it's already quite far from the initial state of I'm questioning and reflecting on my current state. Yes, that's a very evolved state already. Because in the beginning, I feel actually the ego can be very beneficial on your path to, say like, I don't want that anymore. I want my own life. I want to manifest my dream life. That's an in-between state at the beginning of your phase of transitioning, where the ego, I feel, is quite important and necessary, maybe even beneficial, to get that energy, like this momentum of, I want something more. I'm here for something more. I dream bigger. I want to live the life of my dreams. Yes, all these I want this. That's the ego, actually. But it helps you to get momentum, to get motivated, to see I can really actually do something about my state of being. I don't have to be stuck. I don't have to be kept imprisoned. I'm sovereign. I can act according to my own laws, my own rules. Maybe even in that phase is a rebellious phase, rebellion against the system. And some may go out on the street, really, literally, but maybe it's also a lot an internal rebellion that shifts and actually makes a little bit like a border or a detached internal, detached internal. I see it like you detach internally from what has been told and what is being told you still. Yes. And I've already mentioned now a lot of components that interact on that journey. And because I feel like I get so many things contributing to it, maybe sometimes I'm skipping between timelines of that whole journey, and that journey is for everyone different. I'm just, again, I just want to encourage you to really feel inside, yes, I can do it. A lot of people have done it. I'm not kept in old stories. I don't have to stick to them. I can consciously choose each moment, here and now, even. I choose to be free. Maybe you want to repeat that. I consciously choose to be free now. Words have power, you know it. Affirmations may help to get you running, to get you rolling. You don't have to run, but maybe it's really pushing you to, I don't want that life anymore, what I'm currently living. And I see maybe even I'm inspired by many people that live a life of my dreams. And you can do that too. And at some point when it's rolling, actually, it never stops rolling. So you don't have to fear that, oh, I feel somehow circulating now. No, it's always rolling. Once you make that firm decision to change, to step into your own truth, to each day, again and again, confirm yourself, love yourself. I will walk that path until I feel really free. Nothing stops. It is rolling and rolling, and oftentimes, sometimes faster rolling than you think in the background. And each step, that you can also be sure, each step, each in between encounter, each turnaround is necessary for you to get some initiations to come to that other side of the tunnel of the rainbow. So take a deep breath. place your hand on your heart, maybe close your eyes as I am, and just feel into yourself after all those words. And I feel that is actually one big journey you're already on, that you may also already have subconsciously or consciously chosen, I want to be free. I want to come back to love. I want to return to my essence. I want to return home, but still being embodied in this human form. I want to live heaven on earth in my own individual expression, free from constraints, free from outdated versions of myself, free from conditionings that have been imposed upon me, from manipulation. I am. I am that what I seek. I am that what I'm about to find. I am love. And take another deep breath in, and maybe through the mouth out. If you have closed your eyes, slowly coming back. Yeah, I just had the impulse. I just had the impulse to slow a little bit down from my from my words to get you into feeling, because actually it's not about the words I use. It's more about the energy that comes through it, and that I wish you feel, so that you get out of any stuck state, or where you feel stuck, perceive stuckness. Sometimes we are not stuck, but we think we are. And claim that you claim, I'm free. You're already free. It's just about to put it out in action and see it reflected outside and feel it inside. Because once you're free, once you're even at the end of that rainbow, you already feel so much more peace you inside, but reflected everything outside as well. You feel so much more harmony and balance inside of you. You feel more in the Zen state of, no matter what happens, it truly has a meaning. It has a purpose. More of, okay, this is interesting that this is happening for me. So maybe there are some initiations, some healings, some codes to be activated. But you always remain in a very soothing energy of, yeah, wonderful. I'm walking the path, still walking the path, cultivating love and making my own sovereign decisions. What is truly aligned with me, my values, what is aligned with love, what is aligned with service to love, service to truth, service to the divine. And as I said, once you start walking, there's no return. You keep walking and walking and be blessed by love, showered with love, to radiate love. And you will keep listening to me that I repeat that, because truly, no matter what I experienced, what I reflected, what I researched, it is truly always coming back to that underlying energy of our home vibration, love. So much love and so much bliss for your journey from the matrix into freedom. And if you wish any support in any form, I'm super happy to be here. I'm guiding with love, I'm guiding with my heart, And I have so many tools in my toolbox by now that no matter where you stand right now, I can feel into you and I can walk with you if you want. You find all links in the show notes below of my offers, my mentorings, but also you can, first of all, to get to know me even more, and in one-on-one, in a one-on-one setting, you can also book your free magic call with me, so we can, look a little bit behind where you are right now and where you want to be, and if I can support you on that journey for a little while. Namaste.